Markus Porvari. I'm the CEO and founder of HyperIn, the software management platform for retail real estate. And today we're going to talk about an interesting case developing in Hong Kong regarding indoor wayfinding, something that we heard already from the panel discussion. Let's just first ask, how many of you have actually been in Hong Kong? Just raise your hands. Great. So many. So, those of you that have been there know that it's one of the most heavily populated areas in the world. And basically, going from one location to another is only available through the subway system, the MTR they call it, the metro. 172,000 people are using the mass transportation services in Hong Kong during the peak hours, and on this company, the MTR Corporation. It's an interesting company, not just being one of the biggest mass transportation service providers, also present actually here in Europe. There are major landlord and shopping center developer in Hong Kong. So they've actually monetized their shopping centers quite well by building retail real estate on top of those MTR stations or around them. So people, when they come and go from the subway system, they actually need to walk through the retail area. HyperIn has always been about great products, but what makes products truly great are the challenges that we can actually solve on behalf of our customers. When we addressed MTR, they only wanted 3 things from us, but those 3 things were pretty much easier said than done. First, they wanted a really, really simple application for indoor navigation. But they wanted to actually work deep underground, under the sea level, without any hardware installations. And also, of course, indoors in the retail area, where you have lots of different Wi-Fi hotspots and third-party hardware installations already there. And of course, they needed to be work actually outside the facilities, in the open air, outdoors, where the customer journey for MTR users in many cases begin. And secondly, they wanted to have big data from their consumers. So how many of these customers actually transform into the shoppers when exiting, for example, the subway system and entering the retail real estate area? And thirdly, they wanted to reward them. So depending on how much time do their customers spend after spending time in the mass transportation systems is something that they really wanted to emphasize in the application. And on top of those 3 things, actually they wanted to highly respect the customer personal data. So as you all know, here in European Union, we have the world's most strict privacy laws and regulations. And you know, this has been a really good playground for HyperIn as a company to learn the process with our early adopters here. But it doesn't mean that companies should stop innovating the services, but instead do them providing everything by the book in the background in a way that we don't disturb the customer user experience, like you've seen after the EU GDPR in so many websites with the cookies and privacy laws and text which you don't really understand. Personally, I don't feel that it's going to continue as it is so very long. And I think we accomplished very well those things. So we launched as a first Finnish company our first applications to MTR Elements Mall in Jordan near the newly built high-speed West Railway terminal, which leads all the way to mainland China. And it comes with a beautiful 3D maps and with our proprietary hyperlocal search, so you can actually type in your keyword search. If you want to go for a sushi restaurant, go ahead, just type sushi and it will show you actually the Japanese restaurants on the location and also their lunch menus. So the content is always up to date by the tenants themselves. And using multiple technology, we were already also able to solve the indoor wayfinding issue with the technology. We used also multiple different technologies such as magnetic mapping and fingerprints of the buildings In the retail area, we used existing hardware installations, so we didn't actually need to install any hardware in the facilities, but we used the existing Wi-Fi network and the hotspots and the beacons already built there by the landlord or the tenants themselves. Now we're able to actually reach an accuracy of the wayfinding indoors ranging from 1.5 meters up to 2 meters, so really top of the notch wayfinding if you have tried those solutions anywhere in the world. We're now extending the service into wearable technology, and as Hong Kong, similar to Finland, is a very technology-oriented place, and many people have also these smartwatches, and we feel that the customer digital journey is something that already can begin with vibrating your smartwatch on your wrist instead of opening your mobile application and actually taking your mobile phone out of your pocket. So you can use the same kind of wayfinding services just on your wristwatch. So it's an extension to the mobile app. Let's not forget about cars. So Hong Kong people do have cars. Did you know, by the way, that car taxation is even higher there than here in Finland, believe it or not. So you need to be a big spender to actually have a car there. We have done these kind of parking integrations a lot here, especially in the Nordic area, so it's very easy for consumers to just type in their license plate and then they can come with the family and kids and drive through. The car park doors open automatically and you'll get some free benefits on behalf of the shopping center just to enjoy the free parking as a loyalty customer using your mobile phone. The same wayfinding function, of course, to also locate your family and friends on the locations, so when they install the same application and give their consent, we can pinpoint their location in the map in the area. This all comes down to big data, so this is also what we're providing for our customer, the MTRs, so they will receive everything from the consumer behavior as footfall analytics. So they'll get the anonymous information from consumers to see the heavy traffic areas inside their facilities. So, for example, they can see from the heat maps that there's a heavy traffic in certain area, but they can combine different data like the sales reporting coming from the tenants to see that actually there's a lot of traffic but no sales in few of the shops. The tenants are not performing well. Maybe there's a problem with the tenant mix. So a really efficient tool for the commercial management to do actually evasive maneuvers on real-time data. And one more slide that I really wanted to show you. It's about the future of wayfinding. We strongly feel in HyperIn that the augmented reality is the way that, especially in the shopping center setting, will be the key for the future wayfinding. So it's very easy to actually use your phone and your camera as a guide to see through the shops and products and services you're looking for, just like we discussed in the panel before. And this is something that we'll be going to heavily investing in our product development in the long run. And as you probably know, the viral phenomenon of Pokemon Go a couple of years back, which went global overnight, the hype has been decreasing a bit, but I think everybody's really waiting for the next killer applications to arrive, and especially in the shopping center setting, using your mobile phone with the camera, like I said, would be a really cool way to find the right place where you're going next. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and enjoy the rest of the day for RecoTech. Thank you.